Hey YouTube, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and I'm here with another Flash reaction. This time we are doing season 3 episode, oh gosh, what episode is it? 17, called Duet. So this is the musical episode that they've been talking really heavily about for a while now. The crossover with Supergirl, because you know, the whole backstory behind it, Supergirl just became part of the CW network this season. So everyone was like, oh, we're gonna get a Flash Supergirl crossover, while they're, you know, that's a little bit more extensive. There was one last season, but you know, it was all on Supergirl and it was just kind of all bottled and it didn't contain any of the other members of the Flash family. So people were like, are we gonna get another one? So here we are. This is another crossover for the season with Supergirl. There's no, from my understanding, Barry's not gonna be going back over there to the Supergirl world. This is purely gonna stay in the Flash universe, but still, it is a crossover. Understandable that they would want to do this type of an episode, primarily because there's a lot of theater geeks who are working on the Flash. You know, Grant Gustin is a theater person. Jesse L. Martin's a theater person. What's his name? Who plays Cisco? Carlos Valdez is also a theater person. So a lot of people with musical talent, and a lot of fans, I guess, were like, can we get to see these guys show their stuff on screen? And that's kind of what this episode is going to be. So we'll see what it's like. I'm hoping it's not too cringy. I love musicals, but they have to be done right, especially if you're doing a modern day musical. So I'm hoping that they find a really good balance between, you know, the fact that it's a musical set in a supernatural world. All right, let's jump into the episode, because really I don't know what else to expect, and hopefully it'll be pretty cool. Boop.
My beautiful boy. I love you too.
It's nice to see Nora Allen in a flashback where she's not being murdered again.
Okay, we need to find whoever did this to Kara and
awkward
repeatedly. And
who are you exactly?
My name's Mon-El. I'm Kara's friend. more than friend. We've been kissing a lot.
Oh, she never mentioned she had a boyfriend.
It's a recent thing.
I tell you what, I know enough not to mention a breakup between Barry and.
HR.
Sorry.
Wow.
Look, hey, whatever's
so
going on
awkward
between me and Kara.
You mean like this clown just did?
Huh.
I'm gonna go.
No! Barry, he said he wants to find you. Why would you go running to him?
Wow.
I think it's time for the Flash to develop some visors, because between the Rage guy from like season 1, the Rainbow Raider, and like this, like he needs to find some kind of reflective goggles. People just can't whammy him all the time.
Ow.
I guess I could click my heels together 3 times.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Okay. All right. Well.
Come on.
Okay.
Than what you were belting out up there, Blondie.
Hey, don't call me Blondie.
Yeah, look, I don't know who you are, but obviously you're someone who's quick with a knife.
You have to excuse my friend. He doesn't think before he talks.
Yeah, I had a cut.
Win, you're here too?
Who's Win? The name is Grady. I tickle the keys around here. Say, you realize how we got the nickname.
Oh my god, can we get more old-timey-wimey?
People.
You ask me, I think he's all talk.
Cisco. Not Cisco. Hello.
Job.
Pablo, really? Okay, just call. Why not just call him One?
I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be somebody, and it's gonna.
I mean,
Come on now, maybe just one little fun opening number just to leave your jacket on. Kick things off. Think of your fellow man.
stop
I
that.
think you want to say in every musical. No, leave your jacket on.
We're not singing. Put a little.
He has such a great voice IRL, so I'm glad he's getting a chance to show it off. Barry's feeling the fever.
Oh my god.
That's her. Sounds like she's in trouble here.
I don't think that's what it sounded like, Barry.
Stand back. I'll kick the door in.
Well, I didn't. What the hell's going on?
Barry about to lose it.
All right, you caught us.
We win and we lose as a team. I'm coming with you.
Aww.
Look, John.
Flashback.
I respect this whole special agent situation you got going on, but this problem right here needs someone with
Well, damn.
green skin and a sick-ass cape.
Call me the Martian.
Hello. Also, Barry and Kara's vitals are all over the place.
I love how it's so normal now in Star Lives for weird stuff to just show up and they're just like, oh, hello, okay. Roll. Just roll with it. Interesting. Because Barry kept thinking that Wally was faster than him, and yet this guy stealing his powers is still faster than Wally.
This way.
Army Moran is my home.
Besides, if our geezers ever caught wind of this, they'd go to war.
Barry literally just threw up in his mouth. That was awesome.
Tommy's right.
Dads?
You got a problem with that?
No. I love musicals.
Okay. Look, Dads, there's something that...
Time for a song. I love the meta way that Barry's just like, what's happening? Where's this music coming from? You know, I never even knew that I wanted a duet between Victor Garber and Jesse L. Martin until it's happened right this second. Exactly, Barry.
Time you can just go back in time and give it another shot.
I'm actually not supposed to do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sing!
I'm you.
Oh, he's all like, oh, I'm Superman.
That's a really good impression.
Thanks.
I see what they did there. Grant Gustin is a huge Superman fan. The heck? And now The Flash and Supergirl canceled.
Bravo! Round of applause, standing. Oh, that was so good! I loved it. That was a hell of a show. And you too. I guess your love really was strong enough after all. Beautiful.
Man, how did you get out of the cell?
Cisco, do you really think that cell is
Yes,
gonna
we
just
are
like
all
hold me?
Cisco. What the hell?
No, I'm.
He's not. Oh no. I don't know if I can take another song.
Iris West, will you marry me?
Again? That was season 3, episode 17, Duet of The Flash. So yeah, this was the musical episode that they have been talking fairly incessantly about ever since they decided to do it, pretty much. I don't know, I've got mixed feelings about this episode. I don't think it was bad by any stretch. I think my favorite parts of it by far were the meta, like the way that, you know, Barry and Kara were so meta inside of the musical, because that's the kind of the thing that adds the humor to it, right? Like, they're both in this musical, they're aware that they're in the musical, and they react the way most people would react in today's world if people just suddenly burst into song. So that part was kind of cute and funny, and it was kind of cool to see them, you know, be in that situation. And I mean, the music itself was not terrible at all. I mean, that's one thing, as I mentioned earlier, you know, The Flash and a little bit Supergirl, a little bit Arrow, like they all have people who have got some theater background or some Broadway background in them. So this was a great opportunity for them to show off the other talents outside of acting that they have, especially since none of these shows really have a way for them to easily show that part of them off. So, you know, that part was nice. It's nice to always have a little bit of a departure from the norm when you're dealing with TV shows like this, because they are, you know, they're kind of fixed in the kind of storylines that they have. So just to have a reason to just sing and dance and do silly stuff is kind of cool. The other thing I really liked as well is that, you know, one thing I really miss with Barry, especially considering that in season 1, one of the things I love most about Barry is that he was so carefree and funny, and he would, you know, kind of be awkward and goofy and make little cracks and wisecracks and stuff like that. And I know his life was significantly less heavy and dark in season 1, but it was an aspect of his personality that I really enjoyed in the first season. And that's what you kind of know when you think of the Flash, you know, especially the other incarnations that I've seen of the Flash, you know, mostly animated. he's always kind of had that funny, lighthearted, witty kind of personality that, you know, kind of made him fun. And like I said, they really had that in season 1, and then they just really drifted away from it from season 2 onwards. And Barry's been a lot more serious and morose, and, you know, a little bit more about task at hand, Iris or whatever love interest he had in the past, and then, like, you know, solving the villain of the week and moving on. And that's all well and good and necessary, but I really like seeing Barry be kind of funny and, you know, kind of WTFing every so often, you know, like he's just... it was refreshing to see that side of Barry and Grant get to be a little more lighthearted once again. So I enjoyed that, and you know, this is, I guess, is the kind of episode where he really got to have a bit of a departure from all the stuff that's going on in his world right now, so that he could be lighthearted and fun. And of course, I think the rest of the cast always enjoys an opportunity to be a little different than the character they always play. The last time they would have had this would have been in season 2 with the Earth 2 stuff, when they would go to Earth 2 and they saw their doppelgangers. So this is another opportunity for them to all kind of be slightly different. And a show like The Flash, where you have 20 odd episodes in a season, you have the luxury of having a kind of a throwaway episode like this, where you can just do something that's off the wall and a little uncanny, just to shake it up a little bit. I guess the theme of this episode, as was brought out at the end, was really just, you know, that love is an important thing. And, you know, I said last week that, you know, it made no sense for Barry to really push Iris away right now, because, like, I feel like it's pretty certain that Iris is not gonna die, but even if you believe that, why push her away, right? Like, why would you do that? Why push away the woman that you love if these are your last few months with her? That makes no sense. And I love also that message of, you know, just because you are the hero, Barry, doesn't mean that other people can't love you and save you sometimes. And maybe they can't save you with superpowers, but, you know, you draw strength from love. You draw, you know, courage from people around you who love you and who support you. And that's what he should be doing right now with Iris and the people around him. Not trying to push them away so that he can Lone Ranger this stuff and hope that, you know, he comes out alive. And I'm someone where I never understand in these types of shows why they have to pull on the whole will they, won't they, and stretch that out over like 6 years. Like, it's not necessary. I mean, I understand not doing it in season 1 because it is nice to have a little bit of a build-up, but this is a girl, like, Iris is going to be married to a superhero. Like, that is enough angst in itself. They don't need outside issues. They don't need other potential people coming in trying to infringe on their love. They don't need breakups. Do you know what I mean? They have enough to deal with the fact that Barry, for the rest of their lives, is always going to have to be juggling that act of Iris and saving the world. You know, my personal life, Barry Allen, versus the life of the Flash. Like, that's going to always cause some tension and push and pull in their relationship, just because of the nature of, that's what it is, the nature of being a vigilante or a superhero is. So they don't need to throw in the extra drama. Let's not go there. I would much rather you spend your time, the few times we get Iris to be a focus, let's have it with her actually building her character, you know, building towards her career, which, I mean, can we please get Iris to go back to work more often? She does have a career. She is her own person, and I would really like to see them do more of her developing herself as a reporter. You know, I'm pretty sure CCPN still doesn't have a boss. Like, can she not maybe be the boss? Like, just something. Let's move that along and have Iris developed in that way too. There isn't a whole lot to say about this episode. You know, it really was just, as I said, kind of a isolated, bottled kind of departure from the regular cast or Flash stuff. You know, in my opinion, the best musical episode that was inserted into a show that really should never have been able to insert a musical was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you've never watched any of that show, if you ever watched one episode, I strongly encourage you to watch Once More with Feeling and Hush. Those two. I mean, that's a totally different story with Hush, but Once More with Feeling, exact same idea. Like, suddenly we had a whole episode with the entire cast being in a musical and it being very meta, with them being like, why are we in a musical? Why am I breaking into song? But it worked. I don't know how to explain it. It worked beautifully. It wasn't cringy. It never felt weird or awkward at any point during the episode. It was brilliant, but that's Joss Whedon for you. He writes brilliant. In my opinion, I don't think they fully pulled off what they wanted to with this episode. I mean, I think the true theater geeks and lovers of Broadway are going to appreciate this episode. And I'm not saying, like I said, I don't think it's bad. I did find myself feeling a little like, a few times in this episode, but it had more to do with how things kind of transitioned overall. Not the actual musical numbers and things like that. Those I think were great. They were sung well and choreographed well. No issue with that. There were just times I felt like it just could have been pieced together a little bit better. I think, yeah, overall, I mean, my Westallen heart is happy. I'm glad that, you know, that they are back on track. The future is changed now that Iris is going to be wearing that ring, and they are engaged, and, you know, I don't think that's going to derail at any point later in this season. And I think we're now starting to see what the Speed Force told Barry in the last episode, which was, you don't like the future, Barry, you have to change it, and you can change it. So now, you know, he knows that Iris is the woman that he loves, and he's going to fight for that no matter what. And that ring is on her finger, and it's going to stay there. So that's already something that's changed. So yeah, that's basically all I really have to say about this episode, guys. As I said, it was kind of a, you know, it was a one-off kind of weird episode, so there's really not much plot-wise to discuss. What did you guys think of this episode? Do you feel like it was just purely filler? Did it feel kind of weird and cringy for you? Or did you really like it? Do you think they actually pulled it off and you'd like to see a heck of a lot more of them? Let me know in the comments, guys. You know I love to read them. And if you like this video, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, go ahead and click subscribe. Until next time, guys, take care.